Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tiravana Chari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tiravana Chari. Yamuna Tiravana Chari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gauranga Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Jaya. Jaya Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada Jaya. Jaya Acharya Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Acharya Thakur Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada, Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada, Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Patita Pavan Srila Gurudeva, Patita Pavan Srila Gurudeva. Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jai Gurudeva. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivraj Vichajya Astotarastha Shima. His Divine Grace Srila Bhaya Charanardam Dan Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya, BBT Founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Guru Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhakta Mahapurana Ki Jai. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatharupa Ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. Jai. Jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, everybody, for attending today's Sunday Feast program. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapanantikam. Vandeham Sri Guruho Shiyutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagjatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdutam Parijanasaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatharupa Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Kalachanji Ki Jai. Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So actually, in many ways, this month represents for us in the Hare Krishna movement one of the best months of the year, because we call this month the book marathon month. It's the month in which we try to distribute as many books as we can, books of knowledge. And of course, chief amongst those books is the Bhagavad Gita itself, who is none other than Krishna himself in book form. So whenever we're holding the Bhagavad Gita in our hands, we're actually touching Krishna directly. That's how powerful this book is. So today I thought I'd speak from chapter 7, which is entitled Knowledge of the Absolute. As you know, in the Bhagavad Gita there are 18 chapters. And so these can be divided into 3 parts, the first 6 chapters, the middle 6 chapters, and then the final 6 chapters. The first and final 6 chapters are like the bookends to the middle 6 chapters, which contain the most important knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. And in these chapters, the first of those chapters, the middle chapters, is chapter 7, which is very, very aptly entitled Knowledge of the Absolute. So we're going to be reading from verse number 14. So if you have your phones with you, and you can turn to 7:14, we'll sing this verse together. You can repeat after me. Devyesha gunamayi, Devyesha gunamayi, Mama maya duratyaya, Mama maya duratyaya, Mami vaye prapadyante, Mami vaye prapadyante, Maya metam tarantite, Maya metam tarantite, Devyesha gunamayi, Mama maya duratyaya, Mameva ye prapadyante, Maya metam tarantite. Please repeat. Anybody? Devyesha gunamayi, Mama maya duratyaya, Mameva ye prapadyante, Maya metam tarantite.
Devyesha gunamayi,
Devyesha gunamayi,
Mama maya duratyaya,
Mama maya duratyaya,
Mameva ye prapadyante,
Mameva ye prapadyante,
Maya metam tarantite.
Maya metam tarantite. Mataji's. Devyesha gunamayi, Mama maya duratyaya, Mameva ye prapadyante, Maya metam tarantite. Devyesha gunamayi, Mama maya duratyaya, Mameva ye prapadyante, Maya metam tarantite. Okay, so word by word synonyms. Devi, transcendental. He, certainly. Esha, this. Gunamayi, consisting of the 3 modes of material nature. Mama, my. Maya, energy. Duratyaya, very difficult to overcome. Mam, unto me. Eva, certainly. Ye, those who. Prapadyante, surrender. Maya metam, this illusory energy. Taranti, overcome. Te, they. So translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Please repeat after me. This divine energy of mine, consisting of the 3 modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So Krishna is saying those who have surrendered unto Krishna can easily cross beyond it. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has innumerable energies, and all these energies are divine. Although the living entities are part of His energies and are therefore divine, Due to the contact with material energy, their original superior power is covered. Being thus covered by material energy, one cannot possibly overcome its influence. One cannot even possibly overcome its influence. As previously stated, both the material and spiritual natures, being emanations from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, are eternal. The living entities belong to the eternal superior nature of the Lord. But due to contamination by the inferior nature, matter, their illusion is also eternal. The conditioned soul is therefore called Nityabaddha, or eternally conditioned. No one can trace out the history of his becoming conditioned at a certain date in material history. Consequently, his release from the clutches of material nature is very difficult, even though that material nature is an inferior energy, because material energy is ultimately conducted by the supreme will, which the living entity cannot overcome. Inferior material nature is defined herein as divine nature, due to its divine connection and movement by the divine will. Being conducted by divine will, material nature, although inferior, acts so wonderfully in the construction and destruction of the cosmic manifestation. The Vedas confirm this as follows. Mayang tu praktim vidyan Mayinam te maheshwaram. Although Maya, illusion, is false or temporary, the background of Maya is the supreme magician, the personality of Godhead, who is Maheshwara, the supreme controller. This is from the Svateshwara Upanishads, chapter 4, text 10. Another meaning of guna is rope. It is to be understood that the conditioned soul is tightly tied by the ropes of illusion. A man bound by the hands and feet cannot free himself. He must be helped by a person who is unbound. Because the bound cannot help the bound, the rescuer must be liberated. Therefore, only Lord Krishna, or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master, can release the conditioned soul. Without such superior help, one cannot be freed from the bondage of material nature. Devotional service or Krishna consciousness can help one gain such release. Krishna, being the Lord of the illusory energy, can order this insurmountable energy to release the conditioned soul. He orders this release out of his causeless mercy on the surrendered soul and out of his paternal affection for the living entity, who is originally a beloved son of the Lord. Therefore, surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord is the only means to get freed from the clutches of the stringent material nature. The words Mam Eva are also significant. Mam means unto Krishna or Vishnu only, and not Brahma or Shiva. Although Brahma and Shiva are greatly elevated and are almost on the level of Vishnu, it is not possible for such incarnations of Rajagun, passion, and Tamagun, ignorance, to release the conditioned soul from the clutches of Maya. In other words, both Brahma and Shiva are also under the influence of Maya. Only Vishnu is the master of Maya. Therefore, he alone can give release to the conditioned soul. The Vedas in the Svateshwara Upanishad, chapter 3, text 8, confirm this in the phrase Tam eva viditva, or freedom is possible only by understanding Krishna. Even Lord Shiva affirms that liberation can be achieved only by the mercy of Vishnu. Lord Shiva says, Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnur eva sangshayaha. There is no doubt that Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation for everyone. So again, the verse that we just read. Devyesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. This divine energy of Krishna's, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto Krishna can easily cross beyond it. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmetam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So I was saying that this is the best of all months for us, is because we all by nature are part of Krishna, part and parcel of Krishna. So Krishna himself is Satchidananda Vigraha, means he's eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. We emanate from Krishna, hence we also are eternal, knowledgeable, and we're meant to be blissful as well. So this happiness, the greatest happiness of bliss, is felt in love. That is why it is said that true love can defeat everything and everyone put together cannot defeat true love. This is the power of true love. What is that love? That love is love of Krishna. Love of Krishna is the greatest of all love. Just like in money terms, $1 trillion is more than $1 billion. $1 billion is more than $1 million. $1 million is more than 100,000, like that. It's obvious that $1 trillion is much more powerful than $100. So in the same way, the greatest love in this world is like $100, and Krishna's love is like many trillions of dollars. This is the difference between love of Krishna and any other love which is subordinate to it. And this Bhagavad Gita is called the Song of God. Why is Krishna singing this song? He is singing this song to show us love. He uses the word in Bhagavad Gita, paritranaya. If you study the root of the word paritranaya, you will see that it is formed from the word love or prema. Comes from prema. So Krishna really comes to show us love. Prabhupada puts it really amazingly. Prabhupada's really the best of the best of the best. This is where whenever I sing, I try to chant Prabhupada's names many times. Also, it's a little selfishness of mine, because I heard when I first became a devotee that there is only one magic mantra in this world, and that magic mantra has 4 syllables in it. Prabhupada. If you chant these 4 mantras, then you can do magic. So obviously, we are very fruitive people, right? We want to achieve great results. We want great things to happen. So I took it to heart and I decided whenever I sing, I will sing lots of Prabhupada. Because then it'll give some energy that I can speak how Prabhupada wants us to speak. Who is Srila Prabhupada? Srila Prabhupada is our grandfather. I don't see any disciple here of Srila Prabhupada. But if you are a disciple, then he is our father. But we are his children's children, so we are his grandchildren. How many of you are grandparents? Hands up. Any grandparents here? 1, 2. Nice. So when you become grandparents, you will understand what love is between the grandparent and the grandchild. The grandchildren always want to be around the grandparents more than the parents. Why? Because the parents are a little strict. They require you to learn to do the right things, to grow up as a nice person. But the grandparents don't have any such requirements. The grandparents just give love. It's okay. If they like candy, just give them candy. It's okay. And the parents always have to remind the grandparents, please don't do that. Please. We're trying to make sure they don't eat too much candy. They don't watch too much TV. They don't do too much of this and too much of that. And the grandparents say, look, I'm your father. So unfortunately, you cannot tell me what to do or not to do. I am going to do what I am going to do. And you're just going to have to wear it. So this is the relationship between Prabhupada and us. Prabhupada really loves us a lot. So he said to us that what is the Bhagavad Gita? He explained the Bhagavad Gita. He says, Bhagavad Gita means Krishna comes from the spiritual world. And he plays and dances with his devotees. He plays and dances with his devotees. Now, all of us know playing and dancing is good fun, right? Playing is good fun and dancing is good fun. He plays and dances with devotees and he tells everyone, please come and join us. Please come and play and dance also. That, he said, is the Bhagavad Gita. I mean, this is an amazing explanation of the Bhagavad Gita. Before that, I learned it a little more technically, what Bhagavad Gita meant. In one sentence, Bhagavad Gita in the technical sense means that the purpose of life is that one should engage in the loving devotional service of Sri Krishna, joyfully, tolerating all kinds of impediments. This is a one-line explanation of the whole Bhagavad Gita. So, we kept going on until I read this from Prabhupada, that Srila Prabhupada said, this is what the Bhagavad Gita is. Now, this is love, right? People play and dance when they have love. When they have hate, what do? They kill people, right? They harm people. They have wars. They fight politically. This is when they don't have love. When they have love, they play and dance. They sing, they play, they dance, they feast. These are the signs of love. So Krishna, in this verse, is saying that there is no way you can overcome Maya. It's impossible. It says very clearly there, impossible. Impossible means not going to happen. You can try whatever you want to try. We have lived billions of lives. In every life, we became more conditioned and more conditioned and more conditioned. It's like when you're falling down a cliff. The further down you fall the cliff, the bigger the chance that you are finished, right? The further you go, that means game over. You're going to be like two-dimensional at the end of the fall, right? From three-dimensional you become flat, two-dimensional, like that, right? So that's what's going to happen to you when we fall off the cliff. And we have fallen off the cliff. But Krishna is saying, those who surrender unto me as they're falling off the cliff, if they surrender unto me and say, Krishna, then Krishna comes and holds the person and they don't fall to the bottom of the cliff. And instead, because Krishna touches them, what happens? They become very beautiful people. They become very powerful. They become very happy. Everything goes the opposite way. So in this verse, this is what Krishna is telling us. And this is the first part of the middle 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. This is the message of Krishna. So Krishna is saying here, it is ignorance that has caused us to fall in this situation. How did the ignorance happen? The ignorance happened because of the 3 modes of nature. The 3 modes of nature cover us, control us, and we get more and more and more into ignorance. This is Maya's effect. Maya has 2 effects. She covers us with ignorance, and then she throws us away from Krishna. She has a covering effect and a throwing effect. And when she throws us away, she's not like us who can throw the ball only so many feet. She can throw the ball so many lifetimes away. So this is what's happened to us. So how do we overcome this? So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the story of Prithu Maharaj, the 4 Kumaras are explaining this to Prithu Maharaj. How do we overcome this ignorance? So there it is described that actually there are 5 layers that actually cover us. The first layer is the layer of ignorance. So we have to progressively give up these layers. So the first layer that we're covered by, that we have to give up, outside layer, and then comes into the inner layer. So you've got to start from the outside, right? When you're cleaning something, the outside gets clean, and you come deeper and deeper and deeper until you're fully cleaned up, right? So the first layer is said to be the layer of ignorance. What does ignorance mean? Ignorance means that I do not know that I have a relationship with Krishna. I've forgotten that. And I become so covered with false knowledge, or what is called illusory knowledge, or temporary knowledge, that I have no understanding of Krishna, I have no connection with Krishna. This is ignorance. And then deep of ignorance comes false egoism. Then I think, oh, I am the Lord myself. I should boss over everybody. I should become the great leader. Everybody should follow me. I should become wealthy. I should have many followers. And I should have many wives and lovers like that. This is the 3 mousetraps for human beings. Dhanam, Janam and Sundarim. So we get into these 3 mouse traps. Right? We're stuck in the mouse trap. When the mouse is stuck in the mouse trap, what happens? It's going to die, right? Simply going to die. Nothing else. It's going towards death. So every one of us is barreling towards death. That's all that's happening. Then we think, no, I'm so great. I am so and so. I'm the richest man in the world. And I'm going to be taking everybody to planet Venus. And I'm going to go and dump them there so that I can stay alone in planet Earth and enjoy the whole of Earth myself. So these types of thoughts come in such people. Then deeper than that becomes the attachment to the material world. Now we start becoming attached. What do we become attached to? We become attached to our wealth. We become attached to our fame. We become attached to our knowledge. Right? We become attached to, if we are nice looking, our beauty, our power. Right? Or even renunciation. I'm so renounced. Like that. So these attachments develop. Then deeper than that comes envy. Now somebody else has something, we don't like it. Why they have it and I don't have it? You see what I'm saying? So that becomes envy. And then the 5th level is absorption in material consciousness. Now we become absorbed in material consciousness. And once we're absorbed in material consciousness, the 5 layers have become complete. And now you're trapped inside that. There's no way to break through these 5. So to break through these 5, the first thing that we have to do is to chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Because what that does is, when we chant Hare Krishna, then Hare Krishna Mahamantra and Krishna are non-different. So Krishna says, when they surrender into me, I can remove Maya, right? Because where there is the sun, there can be no darkness. And Maya is like darkness, and Krishna is like the sun. Krishna Surya Saman, Maya hoy andhakar. Ja hoy Krishna, naha ta nahi, Maya adhikar. Right? So, the first thing we have to do is to chant Hare Krishna. And people think, oh, what is this big deal that you just have to chant Hare Krishna? It can't be that easy. It is that easy. It is also the hardest thing to do. How many people in this world chant Hare Krishna? Very few, right? Even those of us who are initiated, chanting 16 rounds is like pulling teeth, right? I have to get my 16 rounds done. If I get my 16 rounds done, I can sigh of relief now. Fine, God. Now I can do what I really want to do. You see? So really, we don't really want to chant. When you chant in that mood that you're not really interested in chanting, then how is that love for Krishna? Because chanting is love for Krishna. It's just like the mother. When the mother loves the baby, what does the mother do? Always call out the baby, right? Call out the baby's name, bring the baby closer, hug the baby, kiss the baby. But the baby is feeling so much love from the mother, right? So much love that the baby can feel the mother's heartbeat. The baby can tell, this is my mother, just from the heartbeat. This is love. So are we chanting like that? Are we chanting with that much love? Do we understand that chanting is Krishna himself? And Krishna says, Yo mam evam asamudo janati purushottamam. So sarva vid bhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. One who knows Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, comma, without doubting, comma, is the knower of everything. Period. Since such a person engages in the loving devotional service of Sri Krishna with all of his or her heart and soul. That is chanting Hare Krishna. That is understanding that when I put my hand inside the bead bag, when I hold the beads in my hand, and I'm chanting with Krishna, I am with Krishna right now, fully. Imagine if Krishna was here right now fully. How many of you would be listening to my class right now? I don't think any of you would be listening to my class. You will see that Krishna is so beautiful. He's such a nice person. You'd be completely in love with him. Do you feel like that when you're chanting? Do you feel like I am doing the most important thing? Just like in Kali Yuga it is said that money will be considered to be God. That is why on the dollar we also print it. In God we trust. That's the God that everybody trusts, right? So if you have an opportunity to win $1 trillion, and they say all you have to do is walk out of this door and you'll be given $1 trillion, how many of you will say that's too hard? No, that's difficult. I'm so comfortable sitting here. I'm listening to this brilliant class. I'm so mesmerized. I cannot think of anything to do right now except sit here and listen to this brilliant class. How many of you would be doing that? Hands up. Only me. Because I'm giving class, right? So in my false ego, I have to sit here. But actually, every one of us will rush out that door, right? Every one of us will rush out the door. That is the opportunity to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. If you understand, that is the most important. Now, we might say, well, if I just chanted Hare Krishna, how will I earn any money? How will I look after my family? How will I look after my children? Where will my food come from? Right? These are legitimate questions, very legitimate questions. The answer is Krishna will provide. If you are chanting like that, the problem is we're not chanting like that and we want Krishna to provide. That's not going to happen. That's like going to the boss and saying, I'm not going to do the job, but you please give me the money. Please pay me. I'm just going to sit here, or maybe not even sit here, I'll sit at home because I like to do remote work. I'm going to sit at home and I'm going to do nothing, and you just send me the paycheck every 2 weeks into my bank account. I don't mind if you make a direct transfer, it's okay. Not going to happen, right? We have to love Krishna to experience the love of Krishna. Right? He says that those, as they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So for us to get rid of ignorance, the first thing we have to do is to chant Hare Krishna. And because we don't want to chant Hare Krishna so much, we have to associate with those who like to chant Hare Krishna. This is why Prabhupada set up this movement, so that we can associate with those who actually love to chant Hare Krishna. Then it sort of develops on us as well. We also develop the taste to chant Hare Krishna. And what are we saying in Hare Krishna? We're saying, oh, energy of the Lord, all attractive Lord, O reservoir of all pleasure, kindly engage me in your service. That's what we're saying. What is the service? The service is to give this name to others. Chant it yourself and give it to others. Because when you give it to others, then Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that one who spreads this knowledge to my devotees is most dear to me, and there is nobody ever who will be more dear than such a person. So all we ask to do is to tell others, please chant Hare Krishna, and help them chant Hare Krishna. Now, that is not so easy either. Why is that not so easy? Because people don't want to chant Hare Krishna. They think, why are you wasting my time? I'm not interested in chanting Hare Krishna. I'm interested in watching India play Pakistan. Right now, there's a very important game going on. And that is the end of the world game. If India doesn't win against Pakistan, I will be in depression for the next month. You see? This is what's happening. We're finding other things to do that are more interesting to us than chanting. So obviously others are thinking the same thing, so they're not going to accept it. So Krishna is very smart. He knows that. He knows everything. He knows how hard it's going to be. So what does he do? He comes all the way from Goloka Vrindavan to Kurukshetra and speaks the Bhagavad Gita and says that the Bhagavad Gita is me in literary form. And all we have to do is give that Bhagavad Gita to others. Now, when you give it to others, that may not be so easy either. But there is an easy way to do it. That easy way to do it is two methodologies. One is you go out on the street and you take the Bhagavad Gita, and every time somebody passes you by, you hold the Bhagavad Gita and put it in their hand. Just put it in their hand. And say, I'd like you to know that this book will solve all the problems of the world. What to speak of your problems? It can solve all the problems of this world. And your problems will easily be solved. Just touch the book. If they touch Krishna, what will happen? What happens if you touch Krishna? You get sukriti, right? You get piety. It's called agyata sukriti. In their next life, they have to become a devotee now. Wow, that's an easy method to make devotees, right? All you wait is one lifetime. Just one lifetime. Just touch. Now you might say, I don't think I'm going to do that. Because, I've got too much pride. I'm a great person. I'm not going to go out in the street. Sorry, it's coming off. I'm shaking my head too much. Can you sit it? Thank you very much. When you get older, you become more like a baby. Then you need somebody to mother you, otherwise, things don't work. So, a nice mother, of course, not just so basically, Krishna knows that it's going to be a little difficult. People have too much pride in them. They have some type of ego that says, I'm not going to go on the street and I'm not going to touch Bhagavad Gita in somebody's hand. So what is the second easy method? The second easy method is help somebody else who is doing it. If you won't do it, help somebody else. This is why we have all these Bhagavad Gitas laid up on this table here. This is the month, because this is the month when Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. We're requesting that you please sponsor these Bhagavad Gitas. There are many devotees here who are very happy to go and distribute books. Very happy. In fact, they find when they're distributing books, it is so much fun. They take photographs of the people they distributed the books to, and they put it out on WhatsApp and other places, and everybody celebrates that, wow, you met this person, this book went out to this person. And even our young children are doing it. What's the age of the youngest child who's distributing books right now, you'd say? As young as what? 2 years, 3 years? Youngest person distributing books here in Dallas. Huh?
7 years.
7 years of age? Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 7 years of age, right? Young children are happy to distribute books. So if you don't want to do it yourself, all we're asking is, please donate a box, 2 boxes, 5, 10, 20, 100, however you want, number of boxes you want to distribute. Because that is love in a book form. This is love of Krishna in book form. If you give this out, can you imagine how happy Krishna will be with you? That you made an attempt to put this book out, because he says that in Bhagavad Gita, that this is the most important thing for us to do, is to give this knowledge to others. This should become our focus. Focus means that our attitude is that I am Krishna's, Krishna is mine, and I'm going to do everything in my power to please Krishna. That is focus. Focus means, even if it means I have to take a little bit of trouble, like give away my hard-earned money, no problem. I'll do it for Krishna. Focus means that I am sincere. I sincerely want to do something. Just like when somebody falls in love, they're sincerely in love. If they're not sincere in love, it's not love, it's fake, right? And sooner or later the other person finds out and becomes very discouraged. Focus means relentlessness. Under no circumstance you're going to give up. You're going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing until it happens. So you're ready to take a risk, give up some of your hard-earned money, just so that these books can go out. And I can tell you one thing, every time we get books, right, and we have Himagoranga Prabhu sitting here, who looks after the book room with some of the other devotees, and we can assure you that all these books that come, they go out. We don't sit with them in the book room and pile them up. We're happy to give them out. Because we have limited number, we make sure we hold enough for the Sunday Feast program so we can give people free copies. But other than that, if you gave us 10 million books, we have 10 million people who we can give out these books to. Dallas Fort Worth alone has 12 million people living in it. Every one of them should have a Bhagavad Gita. Every one of them would like to touch God. Every one of them has a personal relationship with God. And this is the manifestation of that personal relationship. So this is the opportunity. And not only the opportunity for you, the opportunity for those you love. Tell people, if you really want to give, there is a formula in this world. By the way, the materialists have figured it out now. The formula in this world for success is called massive value. The more value you give others, the more value will come back to you multiplied. If you give massive value to others, more than massive value will come back to you. And the greatest massive value is Krishna himself. Krishna is the most massive value. Here is the most massive value. Give this to people. They don't need to know that. They don't need to understand that. Most of us who got Bhagavad Gita, I know the first time I got Bhagavad Gita, somebody had put it in our library and I read it. I had no idea what the Bhagavad Gita was. Absolutely no idea. But once I touched it, from then a relationship started. And that relationship became deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And then you get the understanding, oh, this is what Bhagavad Gita means. It means that Krishna is saying, I have come. I am playing and dancing with my devotees. You please also become devotee and come and play and dance with me. And then let's go back to the spiritual world where everything happens at a much better scale than what happens in this world. Where nothing is impossible. Everything is not only possible, it's possible millions of times over. This is the best gift you can give anybody. There is no better gift than this. It's only one book. If you don't like to do that, please distribute a whole set of Bhagavatams. Make it a little easier for you. Bhagavatam is also Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna speaking. Bhagavatam is about Krishna. Both of these are the same. Prabhupada said Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So if you think Bhagavad Gita is too small, in some ways we agree with you, distribute all Bhagavatam. Buy 10 boxes of Bhagavatams, 100 boxes of Bhagavatams, and distribute the Bhagavatams. We'll be very happy with you. The Bhagavad Gita is contained inside the Bhagavatam, so you would have achieved a higher purpose. But please do this. Take this to heart. If you really love Krishna, you really want to love Krishna. And by the way, nothing else works in this world. Look at the world outside and see the mess that's going on. It's because they're not connected to Krishna. Once you become connected to Krishna, that mess will stop for you. Yes, it will continue outside, it will still affect you externally, but it will not affect you in terms of your relationship with Krishna. And that is the relationship that's going to carry you to your highest destination, to your best destination, Krishna Prema. So please take this very seriously. Times are going to get worse. It's not going to get better anytime soon. There's still many more years of terrible times coming. Some of us made these predictions in the 1990s that the 21st century, the third of the decades in the 21st century will be the terrible decade. That decade started in the year 2000 and will go on till 2020 and will go on till 2030. We still got another good 5 years to go of terrible times in this world. It's not going to get any easier. Anybody can be shot at any time. Anything can go wrong at any time. It's just a matter of time when something's going to go wrong that's going to be close to you. And you're going to realize it's a terrible, 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 and I can keep using this word terrible until the cows come home, world out there. And the only protection you have is Krishna himself. And he has come in the form of this book, the Bhagavad Gita. Take it seriously. This is love in the form of a book. Embrace this book. Embrace the love of Krishna. Embrace your true happiness. And please help those around you. Please help your loved ones. If you call them your loved ones, why are you not showing them any love? Why are you showing them cheap love? Why don't you show them some real love? Cheap love is, yes, I'll take care of you financially, until your boss fires you. So much for being taking care of your kids, right? Now look for another job. Or your business goes broke. Or you become deathly sick. Or an accident happens. And that list goes on, by the way. I can sit here for another 5 years giving you another item on that list and not repeating myself. Every step is danger in this world. Kadam kadam yad vipadam. Padam padam yad vipadam. So please, counter this. The way to counter this is simply one book, Bhagavad Gita. Embrace it yourself and give it to others to embrace. This is your best investment. Everything else is an expense. You spent the money, it's not going to come back to you. Including the best investments, whether it's crypto or not crypto. Makes no difference. Those investments are all going to sink at some point. Do you know, it is a fact, even in the business world, they say no business survives more than 200 to 300 years. It crashes after that, unless they change the business. That's not a very long period of time. Whereas Bhagavad Gita is eternal. We have recorded history of Bhagavad Gita for over 711 trillion years. 2.5 breaths of Vishnu. There's a recorded history of Bhagavad Gita. That's a long period of time. And that's not as long as how Bhagavad Gita existed. It existed before that too. This is eternal. This is eternal love. So our very, very humble request to you, please take this seriously. Focus on the Bhagavad Gita. Focus on love of Krishna and his devotees. And put this book out. Spread this message. It will help people no end. They will thank you. They will say, you were my best friend. When everybody else was selling me, what do they call them? When you're selling them something fake? There's a nice word for that. Snake oil, thank you. Whilst everybody was selling me snake oil, you sold me true perfume. What is true essential oil that is very, very, very healing, very therapeutic. Not only therapeutic, it gives you love at the greatest level. And every one of us is seeking love. This is the best love. So this is why we titled this class, Focus on Bhagavad Gita. Please focus. Again, for focus, your attitude should be completely in line. The fact that you have to suffer something to do it is okay. The fact that you're very sincere about it, the fact that you're never going to give up. And the fifth one is, Krishna's promise is, Konteya tu pratijanihi name bhaktaha pranashati. My devotee never fails. This is the only thing that's not going to fail. Everything else is going to fail. It is going to fail. Everything is driving towards failure. This one is driving towards success. Make the choice. One time there was a group of people, they were asked to do research. Why do people fail? So they wanted to know the top 5 reasons why people fail. So the group came back and wrote a book, and they titled the book, The Only Reason People Fail. And do you know what they said in that book? They said the reason people fail is because they do not decide. They can't make decisions. See, even if you make the wrong decision, it's okay, because you learn from that and correct yourself, right? But if you just never decide, then it's not going to happen. You won't learn. You neither will come and do the right thing, nor will you learn and come to the right thing. You won't come the short way or the long way. You'll never get there because you did not decide. Please today, decide. I will promote the love of Krishna to everyone. So please repeat after me. I will promote the love of Krishna to everyone. Please do that. Please do that. This is the most powerful message that you can ever get. You couldn't pay me trillions of dollars for this message. This is how powerful this message is. You're very fortunate that you're sitting here and able to listen to this in front of the Lord himself, and he came here just for this message. Just for this message. Please, our humble request, all of the devotees here, particularly on behalf of our temple president, I beg all of you, please do this. When I asked him, what should I speak? You want me to speak? What do I speak? He said, if you can speak a little about Bhagavad Gita, because we want to give Bhagavad Gitas out to people, it would be very nice. So this is why I said what I have said. If you're a little unhappy with what I have said, please blame the temple president. And if you're a little happy with what I've said, then please praise the temple president. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I know we've gone a little over time, but we'll entertain at least one question. Anybody has a question, doubt, concern about what I said or this topic? No, you're all Completely convinced, huh? Wow, that's amazing. I must be a very good speaker.
It means they're all
Not.
they're all going to get a case of Bhagavad Gitas.
Yes,
they all
please.
agree.
Thank you.
One question before we go to announcements.
We all know how sacred Bhagavad Gita is and how we have to take care because we know that it is Krishna himself. But then I always fear that when I give it to somebody, if they mistreat it or if they don't take care of the book properly, then it will become an aparadh. Then am I to blame for it or is it their fault? Should I be blamed for it?
Very good question. Excellent question. Because sometimes when you give Bhagavad Gita to people, and book distributors will tell you that sometimes they take the Bhagavad Gita and they throw it into the trash, like that. So do I get, offense for giving it to somebody like that? The fact is, those of us who are devotees, how many of you have never mistreated Krishna? Please, hands up. Any of you devotees never mistreated Krishna? You've always been very nice to Krishna. When you chanted, you always remembered Krishna. You always completely loved Krishna every time you heard the name Krishna. Can any of us say that? I don't think any one of us can say that. We've all mistreated Krishna. Yes? After becoming devotees? After becoming first initiated? Yes? Yes. After becoming second initiated? I can say yes for myself for sure. Third initiated, fourth, I can name it. We're all offending Krishna at some point, right? So do those people who gave us Krishna get offense for that? No. Their purpose was pure, right? Their purpose was that we should come to know Krishna and love Krishna. Now, then it's up to you after that, right? But the fact that they touched the Bhagavad Gita was good enough. Let them throw it in the trash. Next life they're going to become devotees anyway, right? So that's all right. Then when their time comes to be Bhagavad Gita and people throw it into the trash, they're going to feel, oh my God, that's not very nice. When it happens to you, it's not very nice. It happens to others, it doesn't so much matter, right? You get the idea. So for us, the more important thing is to get the book into the hands of the people. What they do with that is their decision. If they don't make the decision, that is the reason for failure. And if they make the decision that, no, I'll take it home and I'll just put it in the library, many people just put it in and they never look at it after that. Then some terrible incident happens, and then they pick up the Bhagavad Gita to read it, right? You see what I'm saying? So things like that happen all the time. That's all right. It's okay. There's no issues at all. Our idea is get the book out. At any cost, get that book out into the hands of the people. That is what pleases Krishna the most. Because you have given them Krishna. Now let Krishna and that person sort it out amongst themselves. Krishna is their Lord, right? He's sitting in their heart. They can throw the Bhagavad Gita away. And do you know there are people who threw the Bhagavad Gita into the trash and then became Hare Krishnas in this lifetime? Later on they came to the temple and they found out it's very good and they regretted the fact that they threw the Bhagavad Gita away. You see what I'm saying? Amazing things happen. Devotees and Krishna have amazing relationships. Let them have their relationship. Our point is, we do the best we can to introduce these two together. You see? Like, do you have any children? Yes. Son, daughter?
2 girls.
2 girls. You'd like to introduce them to good boys to get married to, right? Yes? Yes. Yes, yeah, Krishna is the best boy, right? So we're giving them the best soulmate to fall in love with. How nice of us. Now, then what happens between the soulmates, let them decide. That's not our business, right? That's their business. So it's like that. Thank you very much for a wonderful question. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.